through crises. And Robert Pasteur, one of the front men, one of the professors that, was kind of their front man of, quote, thinking up the idea, that was in the New York Times in the 30s, and the globalists been pushing for it for decades before Robert Pasteur got out of diapers. And he said, out of the threat of terrorism, out of the economic collapse, out of security threats, we will build the North American Union. And then they will propose a common border with the three nations, the United States, Canada, and Mexico. So here is Market Watch, publication of the Wall Street Journal today. It's a link up on Infowars.com. I'm showing people the article, the printed copy, at prisonplanet.tv. How realistic is a North American currency? Using U.S., Canada, Mexico money could result from crisis. They have to destroy the dollar to bring in the New World Order. The banks engineer the crisis, steal tens of trillions, won't say where it went, and now we hear Obama diverting people with this $1 trillion stimulus package that's just pork barrel and government and CPS funding and police funding and further federalization funding, and that debate's going on today. But that's $1 trillion compared to the $8.5 trillion stolen that we know of by the banks, who won't say where it all went. And how they phrase all of this is, well, now we've got to have an international body that sets currencies worldwide. So still have a dollar, still have a loonie, still have a pound, still have a euro, but they'll all be set and pegged and controlled. They say maybe at the same level. Maybe sometimes they'll say this is worth more, this is worth less. This is the same private banks that are going to run this world government that they've already set up. They're now taking the curtain off, kind of like in a showroom at a car show where they pull the velvet sheet off the new car and, woo, everybody looks at it. They're now unveiling it, just like they're unveiling the camps. That means they've gotten up to the point of being ready to use them. And so the very banks that manipulate currencies, that make, in some cases, billions and billions of dollars per nation a day with insider trading, now they're going to be setting the currencies, knowing where they're going to go, and then controlling the currency manipulation market openly. And you'll pay your carbon taxes to them. And I know most of you as an audience know that, but the general public has no idea. And so there wouldn't be any political resistance to this. They said there's no North American Union, there's no NAFTA superhighways, there's no North American Union corridors. Didn't matter how many government maps or documents or C-SPAN hearings they had on it admitting it. They would say, doesn't exist, doesn't exist. So when they finally unveil it to everybody, people don't feel like it's kosher to talk about it. I mean, you'll be talking to people and they go, yeah, I know they're setting it up, but people think you're a kook if you talk about it. So see, they say it doesn't exist first, then they unveil it. That's a psych warfare tactic. Just like in the mid-'90s, people tell me about black helicopters and black helicopters crashing and urban warfare drills. And I'd laugh at them on air. And then in 2006, somebody mailed me a Soldier to Fortune. And it talked about Delta Force doing drills of taking over Houston, crashing a helicopter, people dying. And then I started talking to police chiefs and sheriffs and others about the payoffs and the covert military takeover of the United States and found it was true. But I remember in 93, 94, 95, they would have ads on TV for products, and they would just go, oh, you crazy black helicopter people. They would just throw that into movies and sitcoms. Before they started the urban warfare drills, they would condition people that it didn't exist. You know, you'd hear a radio ad. I remember when Dish Network or DirecTV first came out, like in 95. Hey, look, there's space aliens washing their cars on Mars and black helicopters, mixing something that didn't exist, space aliens washing cars on Mars, with black helicopters. And you hear all this nonsensical conditioning, and, you know, in movies. I bet you're one of them crazy black helicopter people. And nobody was talking about it. And we're like, what is this? And then the drills started. And it was like, no, I live here in this town, Alex. You got to come down here. They blew up a building, and we're telling people to stay in their houses. And sure enough, so they'd mail me the local newspaper, and I'd go on there and read it, and people calling, going, you nut, you crazy person, that doesn't exist. That was a basic psychological warfare operation. This doesn't exist. You're kooks if you talk about it. Then they unleash it. And they did that with FEMA camps. And now they're unveiling it. But see, you're not supposed to talk about it because you're kooks, but now they're saying they've built it for your own good. And people go, well, I I mean, I've seen police in Austin, a warrantless checkpoint, searching people, and you walk up and they go, "Oh, Jones, is Big Brother going to get me? It's a police state." And I'm like, yeah, this is a police state right here. So even as they're doing it, it doesn't exist. You understand that mind control, guys? You getting what I'm saying in there? You digging me? As they say, you dig it? How realistic is North American currency? Uniting U.S., Canada, Mexico could result from crisis. Todd Harrison. World, hold on, instead of messing with our future, open up inside. Bob Sinclair. Thomas Jefferson once said, when you reach the end of your rope, tie a knot in it and hang on. As the global financial system pushes on a string, investors are desperately trying to hold on tight. The New World Order is upon us, full of hope, promise, and a fair amount of fear. Oh, the New World Order. I mean, folks, I've got every day I see 10, 15, 20 articles for the New World Order, and I'm not looking for them. Here's the International Herald Tribune, the chance for a New World Order. Henry Kissinger's not just on TV saying it every day and saying Obama will bring in the New World Order. Here is Kissinger writing an op-ed piece that was in hundreds of newspapers. The Chance for a New World Order by Henry Kissinger. And remember him about 2 years ago on Charlie Rose? I have a clip of it in Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement. The true Rosetta Stone film that shows you the big picture in detail, covers it all. He said, we've got a first real chance at a New World Order. There will soon be a crisis, and then we'll have our first real chance. And Rockefeller, all we need is the right global crisis, and the citizens of the world will accept their world government. So understand, I mean, Not so much anymore, but I walk around the halls of a local media conglomerate, Emmis, and now everybody's, hi, Alex, you're right about everything. But boy, my gosh, what's going to happen next? But just a few years ago, it'd be like, you know, walking through the halls, oh, it's Mr. Black Helicopter. And I'm like, you know, I'm sorry I've been to all these urban warfare drill takeovers and that they terrorize nursing homes and things. I mean, I'm just, you know, facts. Now, though, they've lost their 401k or are losing it. Now, you know, now people on the street that were laughing, I mean, it's not funny anymore. Thomas Jefferson once said, when you reach the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on. So, see, he's saying, this is going to fix it. You know, we got to do something. We just got this idea. It's called a New World Order, and these foreign banks will run our currencies, and we'll have Northcom on the streets. And he goes on, the New World Order is upon us, full of hope. See, everything's real bad, but Obama's hope and the New World Order's hope. And we always said a New World Order's losing our currency, troops on the streets, FEMA camps, cameras. It's all being announced now, and people are still writing op-ed pieces going, Alex Jones, the crazy lunatic, believes in a New World Order. What kind of crazy? Or they say, yeah, there's a New World Order. That just means a new international system. The New World Order is upon us, full of hope. Oh, full of hope, promise, and a fair amount of fear. In our recent discussions regarding the direction of our country, we noted the risk of catering to conventional wisdom and the implications of the U.S. dollar. So, see, then they say, we got something daring, new, and unconventional. We got hope, and it's the New World Order, and guess what it is? The North American Union. You know, this is now owned by News Corp. This is Fox News here. They now own the Wall Street Journal. The Minnieville mantra is to provide financial news you know to know before you need to know it. There is a fine line between walk as foreseen, and reading this wrong, there is a fine line to walk as foresight often flies in the face of mainstream acceptance. In 2006, it seemed counterintuitive to forecast a prolonged socioeconomic malaise entirely more depressing than a recession. So this insider pushing globalism is going, oh, I was so smart telling you 3 years ago this was going to happen. Well, of course. It's like somebody calling the police and saying this bank will be robbed next week on Tuesday because they know they're the one that's going to be robbing it. I mean, the CFR loves to brag their heart-rubbing commission with Gary Hart going, I predicted we'd be attacked. I predicted it would happen. I predicted we would pass Homeland Security because they wrote up the plan for it. Well, yeah, you're a globalist. You're on the inside. For years, the notion of an invisible hand was conspiracy theory until we learned that a working group of financial markets was a central policy tool. So see, now they're unveiling it to everybody. Oh, there is a secret world banking group, but they care about you. And now as we gaze across the historically significant horizon, we must open our minds to thoughts and ideas that may seem foreign to folks